Hello, this is Lucretia with the Calm and Confident You podcast. Today I'm going to talk with you about stress. Everybody is stressed. We know it. People are always talking about how stressed they are. When people talk about stress, it's usually with adult concerns in mind, but children also experience stress. Children are stressed when they go to school. Children are stressed as they try to navigate friend or foe when they encounter other children. Children are stressed by trying to meet expectations, just like adults are. Children experience stress if their parents are having financial or health or relationship issues. And then adults are stressed by the everyday demands of living, working, making enough money to pay for food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and with raising their children. Stress has been present since the beginning of humankind. People had to fight off predators and other hostile people. They had to hunt animals for food. They had to move from place to place to have water and plants that they could eat. And they had to find ways to shelter from the natural elements. We have all kinds of ways that we talk and express how stressed out we are. So we'll hear things like, "I'm so stressed I can't handle it. I'm going to lose it. I'm about to have a mental breakdown. This is just too much. I can't get it all done." And even the "I give up." So, what exactly is stress? In the field of physics, stress is the amount of pressure exerted upon a physical object when it is pushed upon or pulled upon. You know, like how much stress is on the walls that hold up the roof of your home? That kind of stress. When people talk about their own stress, they are referring to a mental and emotional experience. So here's a definition which describes the human experience. Stress is the perception of a problem, a pressure, or a threat, which is experienced physically, mentally, and emotionally, and which increases with the perception of a lessening ability to cope. There can be multiple sources of stress which, taken together, increase the perceived demands. Now, stress is not all bad. It takes a certain amount of stress to get us motivated to do things, like even to just get out of bed. And that is how procrastination works. The person puts off the task, like writing a paper or completing a project, until the deadline for completion gets closer. Once the deadline is close enough to increase the stress level enough, the person gets to work. And that's how my college roommate and I both worked. We would wait until a day or two before a paper was due and then be up all night long before the due date, finishing it. They have found that there's an ideal level of stress at which people perform to their best ability, depending on the individual. But if the stress level increases beyond that ideal level, the quality of performance starts to drop. Too much stress leads to mistakes or fumbles or accidents. That's why you see sports teams choke during final tournaments. When people talk about stress, it's usually in the context of feeling overwhelmed, feeling that there's too much pressure going above and beyond their ability to cope. As stress continues, we experience symptoms such as physical aches and pains, headaches, stomach issues. People experience emotional reactions such as tearfulness, irritability, or feeling anxious. And people experience cognitive issues such as trouble concentrating, forgetfulness, confusion, and often poor problem-solving ability. Long-term stress has been linked to various medical issues and illnesses such as high blood pressure, immune system issues, increases in chronic pain levels, and mental health issues, just to name a few. There are community and social factors, such as the support or lack of support of friends and family or access to services, which help with stress. I first like to consider actions people can take independently, which are within the individual's personal control, as a starting point for coping with and for managing stress. An important fact about stress is that it is intertwined with how the body and the mind both function. It is important to know that our bodies have two separate nervous systems, one for activating the stress response and another for the relaxation response. And these two systems cannot be on at the same time. So if you are in a relaxed state, you cannot be in a stressed state. People can learn skills to bring about a relaxed state and reduce the amount of time that they experience stress. This requires learning and practicing the skills to bring about that relaxation response. Another factor in that definition of stress is that there is a perception of a problem or a threat. So what does it mean to perceive something? Perception means taking in information from the senses. But it also involves interpreting the meaning of the incoming information. We interpret based on what we have learned from similar past experiences. We also interpret according to thinking styles or patterns, and we interpret through the lens of whatever emotional state we're experiencing, as well as our anticipated future outcomes, what we think will happen. There are pros and cons to this. Past learning can be helpful, or it can bring information from the past into the present, which doesn't actually apply and results in automatic reactions. Now, if you need to duck when something's thrown at your head, an automatic reaction is very helpful. But an automatic reaction of panic or anger or an impulse of action might not fit a current situation, and that can contribute to turning the situation into a bigger problem. As we take back control and manage our stress, we need to address both our physical stress response as well as our perceptions and automatic reactions. This week going forward, make a plan to take at least 10 minutes out of your day to calm your overworked nervous system. This can be as simple as listening to music, going for a walk, spending time with your pet, or any number of ideas. Pick something that you know helps you to calm your mind and body. And check out the resources at my site, growingemotionalstrength.com. And until next time, be well.